separate section to it that you can develop a career. So we're going to start with the towing service. At Technics, we offer a towing service where we pick up bikes. You know, when your bike breaks down on the road, you send the truck out to assist you. Then we have a tow truck over here. Which this tow truck is another. Or operate this machine. This truck can pick up cars and a variety of vehicles. Any question you want to ask about the tow truck? No?
That's what you use to pick it up?
Yes, this is the section that you use to pick it up, and you have all the knobs that operate the lift mechanism, which you use to bring it down, hook up to the front of the vehicle, and you have different ways to hook the vehicle up. And we have like whenever we're doing a tow on the road, then the car can move so a person normally obstructing the traffic flow. From your car and your bike license, but it's a career in itself, as well as a helpful dimension. If you want to be a mechanic, then you can be a mechanic that also operates the towing service vehicle and provides emergency service on the road. You can stay on top.
Okay.
But this is another section of the company where if you want to develop a career into sales, selling vehicle, selling trucks, bike, car, you know, this section, a lot of ladies normally involved in this section of the automotive industry, the sales section. So you guys can also develop a career there. Any questions you want to ask?
I have a question for sales. What are some skills that a salesperson should have?
Well, it's important for them to develop some marketing skill. Marketing is the basis for the sale, and learn about the vehicle and the product that you sell. Yes, talking to people and introducing the product and explaining the value of the product you're selling, all the benefits
Right.
compared to the competition and the pricing. So all of that is important in the sale. So I'm actually just squeezing everything in our schedule, right?
Thank you.
Excuse me, this is Miss Wafa Ajeri. She's highly skilled. Used to work at one of the factory making wire loom and important parts for Mercedes, Renault, Nissan. She understands the production of a car, what involved in making a car. So now she is our assistant spare parts manager. Okay, this is the spare parts department and service department. This is where persons come to either buy parts or drop their vehicle off. This is another career also. You have to know how to communicate with the customer. It's important if you have some knowledge about the vehicle or some mechanical background that help to translate the minimum information that the customer give you into usable information for the mechanic to repair the vehicle. And sometimes even helping the customer to find the right parts that they're looking for. In this section, we basically have two offices in one. We have the spare parts sale and we have the service office in one. This is another important aspect if you want to develop a career in the automotive industry. It's important for you to not just stick in one area, but develop a wide variety of skill where you can interchange in position that help you to grow as an individual. Parts, we have in a different storage area, but this can give you a basic example. So working in the spare parts department, it also involves keeping stock of the goods you have, what goods you need to order, the quantity of goods available, what goods not selling, what's goods moving fast, selling fast. So this is another important area for the spare parts department. In this section, you really have to understand parts and shelving and so on.
It's like a puzzle.
It's like a puzzle, yes. So basically, like for example, in this section we have maybe about say 500 parts, individual item. So when somebody come and want one item, we have to know how to quickly find that one item in the midst of 500 items. So we have a shelf system that's in the computer. So you can see here, this is not a fancy paper, but we'll just use a marker, write it on. You can see the code here for the shelf. So this is the C01 shelf. So this shelf here would be C, and the entire row is 1. Then now we need to find which shelf is the actual shelf that the parts locate here. So this would represent shelf 1, shelf 2, shelf 3, shelf 4. So this system helps us, once we identify the parts in the computer, then we identify the location where the parts locate. And you know, most customers don't want to come buying a parts and they're 1, 2, 3 hour waiting for you to bring them one parts. So we need to quickly find that parts and make the sales transaction so the customer can get on their way. And this is the best way, is using a shelf system. Look at just look at a few of the parts. So right here, we have a parts code on this particular parts. So this code will actually be in the system. And we will use this code to come and find the parts along with the shelf code. Let me open this one. Anybody know what this is? Touch it.
What you think, mechanic?
My mechanic around here, what do you
What you
think?
think, mechanic?
Does it screw onto something?
Yes, you're correct. It's screwed onto something. No, this is an oil filter. And this filter is like, mom, you have a strainer in the kitchen?
Yeah.
And you know when she's making that nice juice?
Yeah.
And she need to get out that stuff not needed in the juice, so she filter it. This do the same thing for the engine. It filter the oil and take out all the bad particles and dirt and debris out the oil, because those will damage the engine. This filter I have to replace every so often, whether 5,000 kilometer or 6 months. Okay?
It's not
14, 12, 13 up is a good age for you to start on a Saturday for an hour or two. And you start, in age 10, you could use the accounting system, you could make up an invoice, you could make up an estimate, you could communicate with the customer. He was doing a little bit of research when we're trying to find new products. He was one of the person without, you young, if we are young, I view, find one product for us. Right? And he was very good at it. So when he graduated Cedar Bridge, he actually just fit in. He just rolled right in, sit in the chair, ready to go. So it's important for you guys not to wait for that graduation day for you to say, oh, let me get my career going. You can start long before, just on the weekend. A 1 hour, 2 hours. At 10, his thing was want to do his football, his cricket, but as a father, I have to look a little bit further.
Yes, for the future.
Yes, so I know, okay, you can go on and be a top profession, but it's also important for you to develop some sort of skill.
Exactly.
So I basically have him on a 2-track, where, when the time comes, he could choose which area he want to further.
For this, filter, they don't go in the mini car.
No, each car have a unique filter.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so this is the art of our service operation. This is where we repair cars and bikes. And first, let me just introduce the 2 guys working. Harvey, just a minute. This is Harley. He's a student from Clearwater. And Harley is currently at Bermuda College studying auto mechanic, but he works here in his off time and when you don't have other studies. And he's developing quite good. He's been with us now for about a year. So give him another year or 2 and he will be a mechanic. We have different cars working on today. So let's go with this one. This car here is a Honda Fit. Roll up a little bit, it's nice. This car here is a Honda Fit. It has a noise in the front, and the customer was driving and they said the brake roll all the way down to the floor, mean no brake. But it come back to normal, and ever since it feel okay. So my job is to troubleshoot this car and find out what's going on with the brake. So becoming a mechanic, troubleshoot. car also has some damage in the back.
You do body work?
Yes, we do body work, but at another facility. Then in the back, someone ran into the back. So this type of problem, we wouldn't fix it in the garage, but it will go to our body shop after we finish the mechanical repair. So that is a separate career in the industry. If you want to be the person who repair the damage, paint a beautiful color in the car, then that's a career you can develop also as a body and spray painter technician. Very high-tech engine with a lot of computers and computer control. To be a mechanic to work on this car, you have to understand the electronic side of the work. But you have to know about computer very well. If you is, say, an old-fashioned mechanic that used to fix cars when there was no computer in the car, then it's difficult to work on this car.
None? No question?
Nice.
Well, it looks nice, but it's complicated. Inside of here, there's many different parts, but I can show you a few. You can come a little closer. This is what they call a timing chain. And this is what rotates to time the piston and the crankshaft inside the engine. Then you have the wire looms. This wire loom is what connects to the computer, the onboard computer. And that onboard computer sends different programming information to the engine. Right here we have a complete engine that comes out of a Opel Astra. And we have it on the lift last week for you guys to literally see it on the lift with the engine out. But because everything canceled, we need to take that car off the lift. But this is what in most cars, it's not exactly the same, but similar in operation.
I will say that the engine is much bigger than I thought.
Yes,
An engine would be.
Yes, this is a complete engine with different sections joined together. This from a front wheel drive car where the engine would turn crossway in the front. This is the actual engine here, and this is the actual transmission. So when you select the gear, this is what doing all of that gear selection and make the car move forward. Any question you want to ask about the engine?
Much bigger than I thought.
Okay, come this side, let me show you. Actually, we have an engine full apart on there. I will show you the pistons in that engine. But here, this is the engine block, and inside the engine block, the pistons are located. Okay, so so this section here is where we fix the bikes. Just open it. It's a little bit more light. Again, we love bikes. Everybody loves bikes. Okay, let's get close to the bikes then. So right here, we have a bike on the lift. This bike is just for a regular service, where we change tires, filters, oils, and so on. And it's pull apart. So here, this is a Yamaha Nova bike, and this bike ran out of oil and damaged the piston. Somebody asked me about the piston earlier. Can you show me the piston now? This is the engine disassembled. No? Okay, let me show you the piston now. Sorry. Let me get a tool from the toolbox and quickly show you. Okay, here's the piston. And the piston is in the cylinder. And when the engine starts, it moves up and down like that. And this is what helped to build the power in the engine. So this is a disassembled engine here. And we have the lower half of the engine right here with the wheel. Then we have the top section of the engine, the cylinder head, fan, and all the other bits and pieces. But when the engine is out the bike, this is what the frame looked like with no engine. Any question?
Definitely a puzzle. Mm-hmm. Definitely a puzzle.
Life size.
Huh?
It's a life size puzzle. That one's
Yes.
the latest model.
Well,
That's not like more.
it's a puzzle. It's a puzzle until you start to work on it and start to gain some experience. Then it becomes not a puzzle. It's so simple and easy. First, we use it to press out bearings and stuff that's very difficult to get out. And you basically put what you want to press here, and you jack this up, and it pushes out. This is a lift where we use to lift the bike up to a reasonable height, so you can work with your back straight. In your career, you have to focus on your health from an early stage. You can cause damage that will make you have a lifetime injury. So one of the ways to avoid that is use the correct tool and position in your body glove. So safety is an important part of the career. And with the lift, it allows you to bring this bike up to a reasonable height where you can keep your back straight and work on it without bending over too much and put too much strain in your back. Here we have a welding torch. This is another career if you want to become a welder. This here we use it to weld the muffler or different metal that need to be welded together. It's an important career also to lift the entire car up. Let me show you with this one. There's a car on the lift. This equipment allow the mechanic to go underneath the car and do what needs to get done. It's simple. You can operate it for me. This one make it go up all the way up. Okay, you can do my try.
It's too showy.
Bring it all the way up. This can lift up a very heavy car, no problem. Okay. So now the car is up. You can come under. First, before we lift the door up, we normally make sure it's secure properly on the lift so it don't fall off when it's going up. The muffler, it's much easier to take it out on the lift than on the ground like how that car jacked up over there. In here now, this allows me to do a thorough visual inspection. Just looking for any part that may be worn or leaking or broken. You can see it easily on the lift. Any questions?
Do you have to take this whole panel off?
Yes, if we're doing something on the engine, on the transmission, then we need to remove this,
Okay.
this lower engine cover. And this lower engine cover it basically helps keep particles from going up inside the engine when the car is driving. And it also, with this type of car, it play an air down on the road, allow the car to go more efficient through the air. No, well, you don't want that to happen. So that's why the car have mounting point. Each car have a mounting point designed for the lift. So as long as you put the car on that mounting point, it won't fall off. All right, one of you girls let the car down for me, please. This one you just do it like that. And then you must, let me show you. Wait, you want to always turn and look at the vehicle and make sure you is away from the lift. You can let it down halfway. I need another lady to let it down. Okay. Let it down for me. Go for a little bit. My shy friend here can let it down a little bit further. Okay.
Very nice, Mary.
Well done. Thank you. You guys a few words. Being a mechanic or someone in the automotive industry is a very good career, and there's a lot of benefits. Most mechanics make a good salary. Everybody wants to get a good pay, right? You need to buy that nice bike, right? Being a mechanic or a technician or a painter or a parts or a salesperson generally earn a good salary. So most technicians own their own home. Then there's another important factor. Most technicians tend to move on to become an entrepreneur, where they either own the garage, sometimes it's a small garage around the corner from your home, sometimes it's a big dealership. So choosing a career in the automotive industry is a very, very good factor for you guys. Any question you want to ask? Any question come on your mind? Ask me.
How long was you working at for? How long have you been working as a mechanic?
As a mechanic, over 35 years. And during that time, I've worked on heavy trucks, heavy tractors, Caterpillar. I've worked on Mercedes, Ferrari, Volvo, Toyota, Nissan, all the different cars. I rebuild the engine, I rebuild the transmission, I do the electrical, I also do body and spray painting. So I cover all the different areas, and now I'm the managing director. What other question would you like to know? And I do come across many ladies in the industry. From the first time, listen to me good on this one. From the first time when I'm in mechanic class, there was 2 ladies in my class. And from ever since, there's always a lady somewhere in the garage, in the mechanic, in the office, always. And wherever I go and study mechanic, there's always a lady part of the class. So don't have any hesitation if you can make it as a technician or in the automotive industry. The sky's the limit for both women and men. There's no restriction.
That's why she should have stayed up.
And everybody heading off back.